is, I believe, the raid boss, indeed, rather. Rain or Raijin? I'm actually curious about how to pronounce that name, but we'll find out in a while because NickelBack challenged with the dualies in towards Lamp, gets away with 2 of them. And honestly, those peaks were a little bit separated by AVE as they moved through. svyat thankfully eventually got the trade, but now they're left in an incredibly difficult 2-on-4, and well, a bit separated as they push through from the cave and the ramp, not able to help each other all that much, and ELIGE just swings. His stats are back pushing up through lamps. Yeah, there's a small gap on the edge of the smoke. This could be dangerous, but the timing for NickelBack is perfect. Manages to take that kill onto svyat. I was going to say could fall back if he wanted, but he's got Krad also pushed up on the ramp now, so likely to just go ahead and get the upgraded weapon. His teammate could probably even take the FAMAS, and AVE, with just over a minute left on the clock now, need to start working to recover this round. They've lost all of the B side of the map, but that is a wild peak from NickelBack, and isn't really necessary in my opinion.
Flashbang just didn't quite seem to click in the intended position, so a frag given back. 4-on-4 now, the mid control to be contested. It's going to be Lackey but under pressure, tight angle to deal with, does very well to find the clean headshot. Come out, look to lock Elian out of the fight, but you can see already Forrester also rotating in and a ton of damage through the smoke, which Krad will begin to mop up. Sugar doing what he can, has got the first, but he's 1v3. And on just 16 points of health, it's all too easy. A third round for Entropiq.
But still plenty of time to get things prepped and all. And, well, look at this. This is, I guess, a bit of a counter to the fact that they've been pushed down ramp multiple times now. Trying to catch Krad on the aggression. Not going to be able to do so, though, as the flashes go over. He was initially blinded, but he gets away with the...
Elian still scoped up on the B ramp as the 3 remaining players from AVE going to try and get something done. Clean flick from Elian for the first, and now with Raijin again. Low on HP, being spammed down by this orc, and just 25 seconds left on the clock. He's pinned in. He's trying to pre-fire, trying to wait for some utility, anything they can do. svyat is good for at least 1, but that's it. Quickly mopped up again. Entropiq, their CT. Raijin again, caught between a rock and a hard place with the mollies. Krad flying down this B ramp. The flashes are excellent, and he's going to get the freebie once more. Lane control taken in its entirety, and he's calling it open. The rotations are coming in towards A right as the execute looks to line up. Forrester a little bit isolated at the moment, but already those rotations flooding in as Forrester just behind the plateau goes for the spray down. Team kills amongst it. At the very least, still competitive in the 2-on-3 as waterfalLLZ and Sugar try and make something of this. Got time to play with, but again, those smokes starting to fade, and they've still got to get that bomb across to the site. Spotted out by Lackey. Sugar taking out his teammates in the meanwhile is starting to make this one a little bit interesting. Lackey isolated, can't find the headshot, and Krad is left. 1v2, low HP bars ahead of him. Still plenty of time, and still a bomb that needs to be planted for this T side, and waterfalLLZ is going to give away the freebie. 1 tap to secure it. They know where Sugar is, and the spray down for...
As well, he's going to be the one trying to lead the early frags a lot of the time. Oh. Let's see, Raijin pushing up towards the lamps. They made it through the molly, but it wasn't really all.
Open A site, the CTs trying to scramble this rotation around. Raijin still lying in wait of Krad, and as he looks the wrong way, they will take advantage. Forrester at the very least trades, keeps the rifle unrecoverable. But the A site is lost. The utility keeps the CT side out for now. And 3-on-4, a decision to make. They don't really know how much damage they've got done. A lot of it was unconfirmed by the Molotov. The double peak works out beautifully for waterfalLLZ, and now 2-on-4. This is looking very promising indeed for AVE. They're in great after-plant position. svyat gets 1 more, and that's job done. Elian wants to back out and save this AWP, but he's going to be hunted.
Yeah, and I do believe a player coming in behind on mid should pretty much ensure that this weapon isn't going to be brought away. You're not going to push the issue either. waterfalLLZ just waits for him to come this way, and now should have the op even.
Bags resets himself on the angle. Smokes and Molly's not really going to flush him out. That's a lovely little flashbang now, and now they look to cross, but Forrester is there. The double spray down, the bomb drop, the information gathered. CT side, finding picks left, right, and center. waterfalLLZ doing what he can, has managed to grab 1 back. And Porya does find a quick second, leaves him on his own, though. 1v2 now as he deals with Lackey. He has got the sight, but the double temple setup isn't expected, and Elian is there to...
But yeah, we'll go with Raijin. If we're corrected, sure, we'll know in the future. Either way, though, aggression again around lamps. This time, though, they've doubled it up rather than pushing down on towards the ramp as well. And I don't think svyat was expecting it. His teammate tried to flash him through, but it's easy pickings for the op. And now AVE, once again, feeling the pressure. They need some openings, and Sugar's going to deliver. He's looking pretty solid. He hasn't had a consistent performance as he's only contributed, I think, a 3K in 1 round, and obviously now a 1K here and there. We'll see a good first blood early on in the round at least, and well, unchallenged so far as Raijin is going to get himself another one before Sugar eventually falls. But it's still a sweet deal overall for AVE. Oh, unless this man in the corner gets caught. I don't think he's going to be escaping either, so this is getting a little bit dangerous, but no! Never mind, Entropiq topple all over B. Suddenly Forrester's alone.
Damage on a couple of players, but AVE should have this one in the bag. Bomb making its transfer towards the site. Forrester, there's a slight gap in the smoke, but he's not being given anything around it. Trying to work through the angle. Will grab his first. Raijin now with that bomb already halfway ticked. Just 15 seconds left to get into the site. waterfaLLZ posted on the long lane on that AWP. Misses the rough buy in terms of utility as well. And that's where we've really seen the CT side excelling. And they've had that extra util to make it live just to play around this pillar. And he's got it all to do. Smoked off his first angle. He's trying to buy time. Lackey trying to push up the long lane as well. Has got the timing and through the smoke. He's got two to keep it competitive. ELIGE will trade his death. And 2v2, it is a long, old rotation away for Forrester. And with low HP, ELIGE going to be found through the wall. Another clutch required. This time a 1v2. Forrester starting to make his way around on the flank. 8 seconds left. They will be able to get this bomb down, but they're not going to be expecting the flank. The freebie comes through. Now svyat in the one-on-one. Tucked on the left-hand side. Pile this pressure on. Already fast through mid. CT side, they want to take that control away, but it's a split onto NickelBack. It's only the early 1-for-1, and as they try and push down the ramp through the smoke, they're being punished. Krad just about able to survive and get away with that one. Through the smoke, finds Porya. Out of absolutely nowhere, if we're being honest. It's a man advantage for Entropiq, and they're looking to push the issue even.
Yeah, it's going to be a struggle. Lackey up close as well. If he isn't cleared, has a free kill. And that is the case. waterfaLLZ was just making his way in from mid. Not quite yet, but he may have a chance here on mid. I don't think he realizes Lackey is crossed, although his teammate may have called it as he's looking to check. The drop must have been heard, rather. And he will get himself that frag, but then move back A. This is unfortunate. Right into the upper. As I said, that flank as well coming around, so he needs to move quick if he is to get himself this kill. Flash in, and it's not. He's
able to string a few together before Entropiq could respond. Again, this time, though, the utility available. And again, Krad just wandering down. The timing's going to be rough. These smokes are already going to be 75% of the way done by the time they get towards this site. And with so much presence here now for the CT side, waterfaLLZ does the game now. Jumping across, Sugar takes the leg on the chin. Gets the map control thereafter. Gets that bomb down as well. And now 4-on-4. Lackey flashed in to try and get something going, but waterfaLLZ has still got him locked in towards Temple. And this CT side, they're struggling to get into things here. They're struggling to get anywhere near a solid position. An early trade 1-for-1, but again, that bomb just keeps on ticking, and the afterplants are solid for this T side. 2 smokes left. CT's trying to rush on in, but waterfaLLZ has got another big pick. Will be backstabbed by Krad, and that starts to make things a little bit interesting as ELIGE charges into the site. Still got to clear out Sugar, who's behind that big box, lying in wait, and that will be the kill that decides it. Krad very late on the rotation out through short. Really not going to be able to do anything at all.
But you've got one man pushed aggressive in on Dono, who might struggle to stay alive unless he can just take these kills straight up. Sugar, though, the distraction coming in for him in the background to try and get the work done, but he's not able to. The Glocks reign supreme all across the map. They unfold, and svyat and Ryan now are left to try and save this 2-on-5 with, honestly, not really much damage even being done. They do have a kit, which is a small positive, but it's the only man who's left alive now being svyat. He's going to have to back away, and I think he has an idea that player's coming on in mid. Must have heard the footstep of NickelBack, and indeed he did. I mean, at this stage, you've got a kit which would have been nice to see.
Utility dropped just to try and buy them a little bit of breathing room. There is an awkward smoke thrown by the CT side, and that allows svyat to get out. He's got an isolated...
So open, and Lackey himself caught in the corner. Will need, of course, to still move forward, so the only really thing they can do is attempt to recover that bomb. As you can see, the numbers peeking through the pistols, I was going to say, doing some pretty decent damage, but never mind. They weren't all peeking at the exact same...
Entropiq on the back foot once again, still with the lead. With rifles in hand to try and have impact here. Set mollies come in. It's a fast play from ELIGE, and he's actually managed to get between 2 of the mollies. Nice pick onto Raijin to open things up. He's want to go even further. svyat's still alive in towards Dig. Will be a... Once again, scrambled. Bomb dropped middle of that B site. Forrester trying to get rid of rifles. Krad's now going to be caught in towards middle. Forrester upgrades onto the AK-47, but he's got a 1v4 to contend with. Such promising beginnings, Dean, and they continue to fall apart for Entropiq.
Forrester all alone. Nice little headshot on Sugar. That was actually the healthiest of the players as well, so maybe there is a bit of a shot here. The time is there for him. 50 seconds left on the clock, nades-wise. Has a flash. If he had a smoke, that would be fantastic just to block off one of these angles, but they peek in. waterfaLLZ goes down. It is how they naturally occur, after all. Well, he actually wants to, I believe, push through and see if he can force the one-on-one again, but he doesn't.
But it's one of those ones where they just haven't started, if we're being honest, on this T side. The nade stacks are so damn good for AVE. And again, the early pick is found. This time the Molotov finishes it. svyat credited with the kill. Very much a team effort. Molotov, 2 HEs to keep them stuck in that molly. And, well, a little bit derailing for the T side. Elian trying to loop things back in towards this A site. Will get the first pick. And now the AWP isolated, being gunned down from 2 angles, will be found. Site open for the taking. Elian gets the upgrade, and he gets another pick with it as well. The afterplant position's fantastic. Information gathered by NickelBack as well, and it's done. Entropiq will be having an 11th. NickelBack at the very least goes down, but as long as Elian can get away with the AWP and the round is Entropiq's, that is a huge success for the T side.
A kill, and at that stage may just start to pull some players away from that B bomb site, although I do believe now they're going to start to move back around. Indeed, nades and mollies down. It takes all of the attention. Sugar has no idea. In from the temple. Lackey even gets himself the second. A is open for the taken, and honestly, at this point of your AVE, you don't even really begin to rotate. Those weapons are going to be saved.
Such a pivotal moment in the context of the game. Save now has to come through. Krad, aware, is already starting to think about hunting down some of these remaining CT rifles. Porya will be passed by at the very least. Elian with the flick. Deals with waterfalls, and now the numbers starting to thin. Molotovs and nades actually going on to that AWP as well to make it damn near impossible to recover. As the economy of that CT side at absolute breaking point, and he's being hunted. They know just what taking this rifle away would mean in the context of the game. Porya doing everything he can just to stay alive. Tucks himself into the cubby. Looks to play around the utility. Don't take any risks, but it's going to be round 13 on the board for Entropiq. And going through his own Molotovs. Just give these guys, if anything, you're just hand-delivering rifles. So, a nice little handshake as Entropiq have their 13th.
It was just all the way across the map. So they do have one towards Temple. A flash then comes in as well. It doesn't blind up Sugar now. But at long range, that spray needs to be perfect, and he's not able to land the kill.
Bomb goes down, but Elian goes wandering. waterfaLLZ gives his team the man advantage. Now that damage could prove to be significant. Sneaky play comes out from Sugar, not quite able to land it. Are they going to give this retake a go? Couple of players in towards CT. One looking to push the issue on Temple. Still low HP. Krad will be found, but the trades are good for now. Perfect pop flash deals with Lackey. And 2v3. Forrester on only 14 HP. A smoke goes in and it could do everything. Forrester through it though. Has found the first. Now Porya.
Mate there. Good teamwork, Porya. waterfaLLZ is going to have to get a lot of work done to make that worthwhile. And to keep AVE in with a chance here on Ancient.
Smart plays being made over on the other side of the map by AVE as well. They've taken long. Sugar with the deagle has pushed on through. Flank through long is now everything. Porya just has to stay alive in the donut, and he's let the first man past. The T side have absolutely no idea. They've called this wide open. Forrester with his knife out runs to his death. It's done. Raijin with the backstab finds one.
Be the goal here on their own map choice. Early mid control again for Entropiq being found. Also, they've got that execute straight out of spawn. Seems to be a bit too much for AVE. I'm a little bit weak on B.
Still very much feels like this one could swing either way. svyat's aggression, if he can deal with Krad on low HP, but he can't. The jump across finds the headshot. That has got to be tilting. You're not meant to do that, Krad, and still the connection is found on low HP. The frag is converted, and at this point, do you even want to give this a go? Raijin through the smoke has managed to find Krad. That may tempt them in, but Forrester is there for the execution. The bomb will go down. NickelBack is still in towards Donut, so it is a 2-on-2 if the CTs want to commit, but at this point, looking at their economy, looking at the situation, do they even want to give it a go? Sugar does deal with the flank and leaves it 2-on-2. waterfaLLZ in a good spot as well. This isn't done just yet. They're trying to push in the CT side. Entropiq, though, just entrenched on this site, not peeking anything. There's the swing, the 1-for-1 trade, leaves it up to Sugar 1v1, and he will be able to get towards that bomb. It is not planted for Elian. He's going to have to push this issue. He's baited into it, and Sugar with the kit. This is going to be mighty close, but he...
And overall, they have a challenge here on their CT side as well, despite some rough moments where they've had that economy broken and such. They've kept it competitive. I think with time, with things cleaned up, especially this team could be impressive. Sugar gives it his best up close there with the AUG on the main. You just tried to bulldoze through that smoke, and honestly works out relatively well. The Forrester's tagged up a small bit. You've already got quick rotations coming in. So despite this bomb likely to be planted, we do have AVE in a strong position for the retake, and well, with great damage done on top of that, already pushing around those smokes as well, not wanting to give too much time for the afterplant to be set up. The problem is you've got Elian again in the back with this AWP, dink down, but he still gets it. Ryan falls. Elian, he might be the one to carry them over this finish line unless Porya and waterfaLLZ have something to say about it.
Still haven't cleared out for the taking. Setting themselves up for a deep CT push as well. Bomb will go down, and now things start to get interesting. Two-man flank coming in from behind. Couple of players deep in CT as well, which Lackey is going to find out very shortly. They tuck themselves in the corner to dodge the flashbang and swing wide off the back of it. Beautifully played by Sugar to get that early opening, and Elian, making a meal of his food, will find himself taken out. Porya now strikes on the backstab, and 2v5, it is falling apart. Make it 1v4. NickelBack with it all to do. He's got the bomb at his feet, but he's being peeked from all sides, and waterfaLLZ will get the critical intervention. Pistol round on the board for AVE. And a nice start to the CT side of Mirage.
Indeed, Ryan picking up a 2k. It's almost a team ace thing that could be improved on, but it's all about just hitting those shots. And well, the hope was, I guess, that there'd be a lot of SMGs and such in play on that CT side. And well, there is a couple, but it doesn't matter because already 2 rifles taken out of play and window by Elian. Lackey's going to be good for 1 coming out a ramp there as well, and the trade ready onto Porya. This is over before it even starts here. Sugar should just be backing off, and well, I think he's probably going to even get stuck in the spawn here. He started
shutting things down in mid. Huge opening pick. Sugar going to be hunted, going to be dealt with as well by Krad. 4 players.
The potential of the comeback. And well, look at this aggression out from connector. That's a bit wild from Ryan right there. Gets away with the 1. It's going to be slowed down, giving up the mid control mostly as well, but waterfaLLZ might actually note that that's happening and even catches himself the kill. Elian falls.
EHP needs support from his 2 teammates. They're trying to flash him around the corner. Forrester does well, picks up the pick. That opens up the site, and now the plant off the back of it. Beautiful flashes in. And waterfaLLZ, with just 22 HP, has got to bail out of that situation, at least initially. We'll head back in at the first opportunity, though, and a low HP waterfaLLZ is found. The timing is nasty. Suddenly, the man advantage swings back the way of Entropiq. And Sugar has got a lot to do here. svyat is flanking in. The wallbang is good, but the conversion is traded quickly. And now Sugar in the 1v2. Both players tagged up on this T side. Forrester now desperately low. He's lost his teammate as well. Time so damn limited, and Sugar is looking clean on that M4. The 2v3 retake is a reality. AVE will have their second round. This is going to be a little closer than I thought. They do get it done. Skin on their teeth.
Their own stuck on towards an MP9. It's not the most ideal buy for the CTs to try and replicate that previous round performance with. And, well, the op is definitely going to help out. waterfaLLZ pushed up in apps. I think that op being spotted now has actually influenced them to just make this commitment happen up through connector either way. Good smoke down on jungle. svyat caught out in the open looking at Palace. A very awkward position indeed. Should have had the info right there that they had already moved up through connector. Porya at least now not expected it towards Tetris after his teammate fell, but he's only able to achieve the 1, which in this situation isn't really going to be quite what they hoped for, although good damage now from Sugar. And well, the bomb's only just gone down, so they can slow this down and set up for the retake. And honestly have some pretty good nades as well. Smokes on everything.
Some really nice positioning as well as waterfaLLZ does open things up, but Elian and Lackey again are good for the response. Here, as you said, the buys have not been great for AVE. CT economy is a fickle beast, and as Entropiq do finally find the conversion for their 4th
stages. And well, we will eventually see that aggression coming through, but it's not top mid, instead towards under just as Krad looks away. That is horrible timing, you've got to say. Unlucky for Krad. svyat, fortunately, I was going to say, should be able to fall back through apps, but they've actually sent Forrester around now to try and challenge this. So this could either get really bad for Entropiq, or could be equalized. And, well, it was the first of those 2 options, Wolfie.
Awkward spot now, 3v5. They're going to try and sneak up, sure, but it's an open field day for Sugar. 2 quick kills. This is more like it from AVE. Yet to go down a man. The aggression calculated to perfection. 40 seconds left on the clock for Elian to try and pull off some magic. Just taking away a couple of rifles would be good from a damage perspective, and he will open things up with the first leg onto waterfalls. He's looking for as much damage as he can possibly get here, Elian, being pinned in from absolutely everywhere, but he's grabbed the second. Now heading out through the underprops with Forrester, and then the buy. Feels like it may well be a reality, but AVE, well played aggression. Going to make their way up into this site as now those nades start to come over. Smoke wall to give the T-side a little bit of breathing room, and Forrester catches a nice timing. svyat, the first to go down. Porya, his position now known, has got to try and survive as long as he can. He spots out the second player, but he's quickly dealt with. And waterfalls is isolated. The 1-for-1 trade, all he's able to achieve. 2v3 once again for the CT side of AVE, and as the bomb goes down, it goes from bad to worse. They've got this long flank. Sugar will make his way up the A ramp. Elian's shot will be his undoing, and 2v2 this starts to feel viable. NickelBack tucked into sandwich. Forrester well placed for the afterplant in Palace though, and the spray down from NickelBack is good. Right, it goes right back down that loss bonus ladder, gets to the bottom. And then they lose. waterfaLLZ this time looking to have some impact. Drops aggressively in towards the underpass and does have his opening pick. Flashbang to try and force him off the angle. He's still sticking around though, looking for this fight. And Elian, lucky to be alive, somehow swings for the refrag. Will be quickly traded, but the Molotov will do the work back. And again, they're swarming onto this B site. Sugar left with it all to do, and he can't quite handle the spray. Utter chaos in middle to open things up, but it gets Entropiq up short. They react to the underpass aggression. Likely falls apart. If the player on backbench can just rain that spray in for one, then maybe the retake is viable. Instead, guaranteed lead at the half. Entropiq spot to deny this. He's going to play inside of the smoke and actually block the retreat. Now he gives the game away with the spam though, and NickelBack, ever present, is there to trade. The man advantage taken. There is still the AWP of waterfalls in towards CT. If he could wall bang down that planter, maybe something becomes viable. Instead, up on Ticket, he gets the pick, but once more the trade is in. And once more, AVE are left with a decision to make. 2 on 3. Limited info on the afterplants, and you can see Elian has been on short this whole time, just waiting for his opportunity. Not even needed as Forrester finds another, and Raijin, he accepts the fact that he's going to have to try and save that AWP. Already being hunted down. Elian already making his way up short to try and punish. Timing's going to be everything for the AWPer. Does hit the early shot onto Lackey, but now Elian knows where to look. Stays behind backside. He may just be able to save. It's going to be double digits for Entropiq regardless. Elian,
things are not working out for AVE. Over towards it quicker. AVE pushed his hand to drop. Elian's actually alone on mid like a madman. Didn't even have a smoke down, I don't believe. That's a bit of a wild peak. That's going to give over a second off now to the CT side. Question is, can they get back in position quick enough? Because already this execute moving through for it, dropping onto A. Although, well, not a great smoke. Molly quite deep as well. Ryan rather able to peek in towards Palace and snatch up a kill. So with an advantage being extended even further in their favour now, AVE might just have it in them. It's all onto NickelBack, and he's just about going to get that first kill, but it was a real struggle.
Near enough given up initially. Porya playing aggressively around the ramp as a consequence. Drops that smoke. Now takes the peek, the dink through the wood. And they've not cleared. svyat, the double spray down. Should have secured this one. Flashes over the top are good, but waterfaLLZ ducks down. Keeps his head under cover, and they know where to look for these remaining players. Molotov's going in, but it's not going to work. Porya with the spray down, and the last man alive is Elian. Looking for the 1v5, doesn't quite land the shots initially, will be able to deal at least with the aggression of Porya, but the nades rain in, the stack lands, it's 10-5 at the half.
If they wanted to, but likely just looking to get the controller on connector, and maybe even a boost in the window as Porya tries to go up. Elian, though, he's way too clever for that. Oh, he's going right back in, this time a little bit higher on the angle, though. It could be dangerous, taking, of course, attention there on the short player instead, but he's ready. He fully trusts his teammate to deal with that. Just falls back and waits for the push to come through. It's a 5-on-2 already. And svyat and waterfaLLZ, the two most experienced players on the lineup, have to clutch it out, and they're not given any opportunity to do so. Krad and Lackey clean it up. A little bit more focus towards the top of mid, rather than directly out under, though, of course. But, well, they're going to actually find the player peeking under. NickelBack goes wide. Hoping they would be distracted by the short play that had come through as well with the spam. And, well, they were a small bit. It's the kills on Ado in the meantime that are going to come in. And Elian fully committed to the stairs, trying to hang on to both of these. They can fall back, recoup the bomb, rather. And, well, look to work together as Forrester just about gets away with that MP9 kill. And the escapes. Oh, peaks again.
Oh, Elian, that's well played. Peaks based on the fact they're expecting it. At least give them the financial booster of that. Plant will come through, rotation will be called across, and the retake will look to begin. Elian now watching for the jump across, but he hasn't quite landed the timing. Instead, waterfaLLZ has made his way into the apartments. There's no smoke for the bomb here either, so this could get interesting. waterfaLLZ is solid after plant position, if a little predictable, and he's got the first spray down onto Forrester. The spray on Elian does work as well. It's damage exchange as Elian knows he's got to go for another peek onto this. The bomb's in no man's land, and waterfaLLZ has clutched it.
Of that mid-aggression that came in, Ryan is actually going to bypass those mid players as well. It almost catches Krad off guard. It does tremendous damage and allows that trade to be so easy through the triple box. As deep smoke should go through, but they need to be cautious. Elian's rotated in incredibly quick. They double smoke towards jungle, I believe, and have just left CT spawn open. And either way, NickelBack is forward of that smoke. So they are not getting themselves access to the bomb site. And by the time they finally do now, you've got Lackey on the flank as well.
This pick from waterfaLLZ could be everything, but Lackey is there, and Lackey is the stabilizing factor. They were down to 16, so we'll be playing a far more passive role in this round, but the response is immediate, and Lackey on that secondary AWP, he gets the opening pick. Map control taken, but quickly fought back. Sugar does well to find the pick onto Krad to keep things competitive, and at the moment, Entropiq is starting to scramble a little bit. They've allowed a man to be boosted. Raijin in the window with Forrester up on the headshot angle. Clean dismissal. Man advantage flies back their way, and with the health on Elian as well, this starts to look very promising indeed. The AWPer isolated and alone against 3 up on B does well with the first. It's flanked out from both sides, and Rain around that smoke has done well again. Elian finally swatted away, and NickelBack nothing to do but save. AVE have an impact. They finally get their round. And to be fair, you look over at the economy of Entropiq.
If things go south, then it would be an opportunity for AVE to get themselves back into the matchup. So we'll see what way they decide on it. As I said, just about enough.
Timing's going to be awkward now, though. NickelBack getting into position. Elian with a leg, and NickelBack looking the wrong way. Will at least be traded. Straight Palace pop with 3 players and 30 seconds left on the clock. Smoke towards B to try and fake it out, and Krad is rotating. They bought it out of nowhere. Elian is left alone. Does well to get one. Has to buy more time than that, though, and as waterfaLLZ trades him down, that was a 1 smoke fake. svyat outside of B did essentially nothing. Barely landed a shot. waterfaLLZ wallbang down. He's low on HP, and he's not going to be able to get the bomb down. That's time. It's done. They just have to stay alive. AVE have fluffed their lines, and it's going to be 15. Entropiq out of absolutely nowhere make something happen.
It's pretty similar to what Entropiq are working with. Now you're fighting for an overtime. 7 in a row needed. waterfaLLZ, he's going to get caught off guard. Okay. Upgrade to the AK being found already for one of those weaker weapons.
Just falling apart at these half chances. Porya on a recovered MP9 will get at least 1. There's a lot of time on the clock for Raijin to play some rotations. NickelBack caught unawares. That's another MP9 bomb. Looks to stick it off the back of the second. Rain's cleared him though, and the deagle outdoes the auto shotgun. It'll be picked up, but Lackey is required. Rain with deagle in hand will swing. The double peek comes in. They can't quite land the shot, but Lackey's running out of bullets. The 1v1 conversion is through. Porya. They've had problems exiting from these sort of situations previously, however, and the timing's going to be a little rough. Lackey able to get 1, but he's quickly traded down. Little to no utility. The CT side nearly wholeheartedly buying this fake. Bomb has now been dropped by Krad, and that could be critical. Porya should and will be able to trade it, but that's bought time. With 25 seconds left on the clock, waterfaLLZ does well, but again he's quickly traded down, and Elian is once more asked to clutch. 1v2, 20 seconds on the clock. The bomb to make its way up connector. If he can catch them in transition, that would be it. Instead, he gets the awkward spray down. Sugar is gone, and 1v1 with 10 seconds. Porya taps the bomb. The nade goes in over the top. 13 HP for Porya, and he can't quite find it. It took a while.